If you're going to live in peace, it's not going to happen by accident. Every day we have opportunities to get upset, to be offended, to live worried. Life happens. People get on your nerves, unexpected bills, a family member's in the hospital. If you wait for all your circumstances to calm down, then you're going to have peace. Then you're going to stop worrying. You'll be waiting your whole life. God never promised that He would keep us from difficulties. He never said that we wouldn't have storms, but He did say He would give us peace in the midst of the storms. He calls it a peace that passes understanding. That means despite what's going on around you, you still have peace. And the Scripture says, cast your cares on the Lord. You have to learn to turn it over to God. You weren't designed to carry that heavy load. It will frustrate you. Here's the key. When you rest, God goes to work. And say, God, I trust you. My life is in your hands. I'm not going to worry. I'm not going to live stressed. You have this all figured out.
Stress is a killer. I wonder what brings the most stress into your life. Is it your family? Maybe some friend? Maybe it's your job. Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's the direction of our nation. But when you look around, there's just stress everywhere. This is a time and a period of great stress. And people are feeling it. And they're bearing it. And they're going to all kinds of means to eliminate it in their life. And yet it doesn't work. There are people, for example, who have gone to all kinds of drugs, prescription drugs and street drugs, alcohol of all kinds, anything to get rid of this feeling that we have, that somehow it's bearing us down and grinding us down, and we're looking for an escape. And it's interesting that none of the things that we've come up with has any escapement to it.
I'll tell you the truth. There are so many things in the world and in our own lives that we could worry about, that if we don't decide not to and get help from God in learning how to not let those worry thoughts in our heart, I mean, that's all we're going to have day in and day out, is some kind of worry. In John 14, Jesus said, and I love this, do not let your hearts be troubled. Distressed and agitated. You believe in and adhere to and trust in and rely on God. Now believe in and adhere to and trust in and rely on me. So one of the things that I've had to face in my life, and it's a little bit unpleasant for us, but the truth is believing God brings us into rest. And so if I say that I'm believing God, if I say that I'm trusting God, but I'm worried all the time, then the truth is I may be trying to trust God, I may want to trust God, but it's obvious that I'm struggling with it. God has given us a free will, and it's up to us if we decide to worry or to trust God. And I do believe the longer that you're in a relationship with God, the more experience you have with God, the more you see Him bring deliverance into your life, the easier it becomes to not worry. It is more challenging for a young believer, especially one that has a lot of problems, because you're just learning about God. But boy, when you know God, there's a difference in learning about God and knowing God. No wonder the Apostle Paul prayed, my determined purpose is to know Him. He's writing the Philippians and he's saying, this is more important to me than anything else, to know Him and to know that no matter what's going on in my life, He will deliver me from it. And you're going to put your trust in something. If it's not God, then it's going to be yourself. It's going to be your friends, the government, the world, your bank account, your employer. And all those things are shaky and very unstable. But God is not. He is the one thing that is never shaken. That's why the Bible refers to Him as the rock. He's a rock that cannot be moved. And you know what? How many things have you worried about in the past that now you look back and God took care of it, and all of your worry And all your stress certainly didn't do any good, but it did do harm. Because all it does is hurt you. Psalm 55:22. Cast your burdens on the Lord, releasing the weight of them, and He will sustain you. He will never allow the consistently righteous to be moved, made to slip, to fall, or to fail. He will never allow those that are His children to fail. Worry steals our joy. Worry is the opposite of trusting God. Your time is too important to waste it worrying.